Hello and welcome to another round of Spudventures. This week we are back for session 5 and hopefully the finale of Ironclaw Infiltrators, our root tabletop RPG campaign. So take it away, GreatDinn.
Hey, hi, hello everybody, welcome back. Joining us as always, we have Newbiespud playing Mint, the squirrel Vagrant.
Oh boy.
We have AvisEcho playing Siva, the kestral seeker.
Do not spend hours gathering materials all day.
We have VerminQuest playing Yuki, the fox Ronin.
Hello.
We have DigoDragon playing Brixie, the wolf Arbiter.
If you're happy and you know it, it's your meds.
And we have Winged Cat playing Vost, crow Scoundrel.
Don't spend hours, spend days.
And when we last left our vagabonds, a bargain with a bastard was brokered, a blade was brandished, and a journey was completed, for lack of a better word. Our vagabonds have made it to Shelldock Clearing, and they are at the point where they have one final sort of deal to broker, and that is the complete and utter destruction of the Watch Tree of Ironclaw in order to make the power struggles even more so.
What?
Specifically, what you missed, Digo, was in the previous session, the blue jay that caught you all escaping the prison was one Isolos of Senator Publia's entourage, and it turns out he's a member of the Corvid conspiracy, and he is much more interested in seeing the Watch Tree get destroyed than any of the political chaos. Specifically because if the Watch Tree is destroyed, then the military might gets much more thoroughly spread out, and subsequently the Ironclaw will either have to just completely go to war with each other, or will have to agree to work together in a sense. Just because each clearing will provide its own things that the others can't quite match up to. So all of that said, Isolos wants y'all to blow that thing sky high.
And how's
I
this
thought we
gonna...
were just blinding it.
I mean, that is blinding it. He wants it
but
gone.
Just blinding it is not destroying it.
The problem...
Go ahead.
So how do you propose to blind it without destroying it?
So weren't we discussing that the skin could be taken down and there might be certain sections that are uninhabited that you could take out to basically shutter the windows without killing everyone inside?
That never came up.
I might have misinterpreted what you said, because what it had sounded like to me when you were asking that is, does the tree have structural weaknesses? Which the answer is yes. But it's a tree. There are posts all over it and people standing at the very top of it. So completely blinding it without getting rid of it is a whole other task.
We can't tape over the windows in a way that will stick.
All
So,
right, then collapsing it.
Apologies for that confusion. That is my bad.
And Mint is slowly coming around to this because the watchtower is kind of the pillar of power that is keeping Ironclaw the way that it is. The way that is deeply chaotic and not terribly helpful for any of the denizens.
And there is a second objective. Get all but one of the party out.
We'll see. We still need an exit strategy once if we actually pull off this sabotage the watchtower thing. That's kind of, yeah.
If I'm being blunt, sabotaging the watchtower is probably a pretty good exit strategy in and of itself, because that's gonna distract a lot of people.
That is true. It is enough chaos to create a smoke screen of havoc and get away. As long as we get out before everyone swarms in to inspect the damage, that's pretty much it.
Yep. And bonus points if we can set up a patsy for someone to take the blame.
True enough.
Yeah, that's... I don't know if that's in the cards, the way this is set up.
One other thing I should probably say for Digo's sake is that the meeting was set up officially between Scius Duilius and Aquilia Dentatus. So they are officially meeting as y'all speak.
Okay.
And we are currently in Shellport, right?
Shelldock, yeah.
Or Shelldock, yeah.
No worries.
The place was a shell.
Mm-hmm.
So my immediate concern is, how are the common people going to be affected by bringing down this tree?
That is also my concern. There will be a flurry of...
Or emotionally.
A flurry of finger pointing. All of them suspecting the other.
Minus the immediate destruction of it and probably a bunch of things near it as it falls.
The rest of the Eerie Command will take notice and take interest. But as for the clearings themselves, well...
The clearings themselves are far enough away that the immediate destruction shouldn't directly affect them.
Not in a collateral damage sense, no, but in a sort of... It's going to ignite this power struggle until it finishes. And that's not so good, but the current situation isn't good either.
There was also that mysterious letter that Senator Publia got that clearly came from the Eerie current consuls.
That is also true. We never took a peek at that, and now I'm kind of regretting it.
I'm just kind of thinking the long-term livelihood of, the commoners. If they're going to be all right.
We've set up the ex-consul and the popular bureaucrat inventor together to hopefully put them on a path that is looking out for the Ironclaw as a whole. But that's now out of our hands. And with them together, and with Publia and Claudius publicly not terribly friendly because Claudius disobeyed Publia,
they're very unlikely to.
The two who are actually allied stand to come out on top. And of the whole group, I've picked them as my favorite to win. For the hopeful long-term health of the denizens. But
yeah,
they're not even neither of them are expecting the watchtower to fall. But at the same time, I also think they need it. The more I think about it.
I'm
you
just
also
thinking...
sorry, real fast, I'll just say, you also don't necessarily have to follow through on Isolos's demand. He went ahead and did his half.
Yeah, we could just make a fool of him. We could just say, well, job's done, we're out, we looted the vault, we're out.
Or just out him.
Also true.
Ooh, sorry. Sorry, the old scheming...
This is me, the instigator of chaos, talking, not the small little bird who has no idea where to put her beak into this conversation.
But I think that scheme would have occurred to Mint eventually, and that will definitely get some gears turning on. Hold on. We could have got Islos to do a favor for us, and we could remove his brand of chaos from the equation and get points with Publia.
You're welcome.
The problem would be proving it. The problem would be being like, hey, one of your close advisors is a member of the corporate conspiracy and has been acting against you. We didn't actually collect more proof of that than his admission, and he can just as easily deny it.
Who is Publia going to believe? The 5 strangers who showed up in an area where their past doesn't apply, or the guy she is known for literally his entire life?
Yep. So, really delicious scheme. I don't know if we can pull it off.
give us something? I felt like we got something from him.
I mean, he did leave y'all a note.
I completely
we get
forgot.
like everything we wanted from the vault from?
Oh yeah, he did let us into the... But that would mean admitting to Publia that we just looted the vault that kind of, like, that at least Publia believes belongs to her.
It's almost like I made this extremely complicated.
Yeah.
Tech!
I'm just looking at the long term of the people's well-being.
The thing is, like, the Ironclaw also doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists as a seat of military power and, you know, not insubstantial political power along with it for the entire, you know, wood.
Right.
And we've already kind of sabotaged the political prisoners aspect. And we've already taken at least what we want from the vault. Various treasures and whatnot.
Did we?
Yeah, Isolos let us in.
Yep. That would be one of the few things that you would not have had access to because of the missing the last session. But yeah, everyone was allowed in the vault, and I described several items, which I will just link to you in a private document. But everyone was basically allowed to take their fill of stuff, which added, 2 resources to everyone's pool. Let me just...
The other major, like, resource it has is, like, Shelldock has, like, a famous library or something, right?
Yeah, Shelldock has the library that's supposedly all of the information that the Eerie has never wanted to get out.
And we're in Shelldock right now.
One moment. Please don't be more than 2,000 characters.
So there's one more angle that Vost has been considering.
And what would that be?
If we take down the watch tree with explosives, how many residents of the area, how many denizens of the area, or even visitors, are known to have explosives? And this will be loud. It'll be obvious that it was taken out with explosives.
Yeah.
Which is why Vost wants to have it established that someone besides literally just Vost is capable of doing this. Otherwise, he knows where the fingers will wind up.
So you want to set up like several explosions so that...
I want to set up other people knowing how to do explosives.
I don't know if you've been publicly pointed out to the authorities that you have this capability.
If that can be hidden, Vost would go with that, but Vost is assuming the authorities already know.
You're assuming that the authorities would know that you are the explosives guy?
And the only explosives guy on the whole island.
The only way they would know that is the guards who would have seen you, who are currently dealing with a lot of stress, if I'm being blunt. And Isolos, who would be one of the people who would probably benefit least. Yeah. So, I mean, currently y'all are known by appearance, but that's about it.
Yeah, we aren't actually, like, fugitives yet. Like, a few guards saw us take down the prison, but we knocked a lot of them out, we made a lot of them run, and they have bigger things to worry about than finding those guys who assaulted the prison. And whatever description they have, it's not going to be enough to be like, oh, this specific crow that everyone knows. No, they don't, because we still have our cover story of being religious travelers.
Mm-hmm.
A few people in the know us, but none of them have any reason to suspect that we would be involved with a bombing. And fewer,
especially because y'all are far
and-
from the only people to come in and out recently.
and fewer of them know that you, Vost specifically, are an explosives guy. That's pretty much just Isolos, because you discussed the methodology with him.
Well, if we
So-
can keep that cover, that certainly makes things simpler.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
right.
as long as you don't go running around yelling, "I'm the Mad Bomber," you're probably fine.
Yeah, our cover is still kind of flimsy, but still intact.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we aren't, like, seen and ID'd in the middle of the act. But I suppose
right.
it's still a question of whether we should go through with it.
So the main objection is the fate of the common people.
I think that's kind of what I'm kind of looking out for, and I feel like we're all kind of on the same page on that we don't want to just, like, cause chaos that's going to do more harm than good. I think we're all on the same page on that.
Yeah, that's fair. So
If the watchtower just comes down, anything around it is going to be damaged.
Obviously.
Fortunately,
And
most of
there-
what's around it is just wood.
Yeah, the watchtower is some distance away from all the clearings that surround it. There is a buffer
Yeah.
zone.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like if we took deliberate effort, we could possibly damage a clearing. If we don't try to damage a clearing, we're not going to damage a clearing.
Yeah. With effort, you could flatten a clearing if you absolutely wanted to. I don't know why you would, but you could.
And and we pretty much all want the opposite of that.
I mean, I don't know. Y'all never visited Windbrisk, so you could probably destroy that one just fine.
Out of sight,
No
out of
thanks.
mind.
Right?
So, what about shoring up? So, setting up to destroy the tree is going to take some time.
Mm-hmm.
While that's being done,
I don't
could
know if
shore
we
up
haven't
the alliance?
quite made that decision.
I know. I'm just laying out hypotheticals. If
I-
we were to do that, it would take some time.
I think
While
the
that is
only,
happening,
I think the only political play we have left that we can play quickly is to incept suspicion of in Publia towards her advisor Isolos. I think that's the last bit of, like, political shakeup we can do, because we've allied the two people who are most likely to ally with anyone in this 4.
what I was going to say was shore up the alliance, and then shortly before the watchtower comes down, warn them so they can position themselves to take advantage of this.
I think especially Achillia would have objections to us taking down the watchtower, and if we do this, I think we need to do it in a way that she doesn't know.
If the watchtower, try this with English. Take 2. If we try to take out the watchtower with no one knowing, then it'll be much harder for people to point fingers and say, "Oh, you must have planned this."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we warn our allies to get ready for it, and they're in the position to take command when the tree goes down, then everybody's going to look at them as, "Oh, they must have done this, and instigated it."
Yeah, it actually helps them for them to be caught off guard by this too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Additionally, there's the aspect of, like, if this happens while Achillia and Skyus are having their discussion, then it's like, well, why would Achillia set this up if she was going to come here alone? Surely she would use this as an opportunity to, like, fight everybody if she planned this. And Skyus is more of a builder than a destroyer, so
Yeah.
doesn't seem like the kind of thing he would do.
Yeah,
They sort of have an alibi being out of the picture there.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention the fact that the watchtower is still majority controlled by Claudius and his cohorts.
Yeah.
So,
Hope he likes investing in toothpicks then.
So it all comes down to the central question of, do we think this is what's best for the clearing? And there's arguments for and there's arguments against. The arguments for being less centralized and overwhelming Eerie control here. The arguments against it being more chaos as the political schisms and whatever outside force tries to move in during the chaos, ultimately not helping the denizens very much. And I think those are both true, is the problem. I don't think there's a clear one is better.
Hello, I'm the person who set this up. The answer to that is yes. There is no correct answer here.
Good.
Gravy.
It's not a great thing that the Eerie has a firm claw around 5 very valuable clearings with 1 strategic installation. It's also not the worst thing that the denizens have someone with clear control and indisputable control over these 5 very valuable clearings.
And something you would have picked up about Skyus, at least, is that he's not as isolationist as the rest of the Eerie is.
Mm-hmm.
So he's willing to trade with people. He's willing to open things up a bit.
And that'll be more difficult to do with the watchtower in place.
Yep.
There's also the denizens beyond just Ironclaw. What happens to them if the watchtower goes down?
It's a very good question.
Then I just in terms of just like the pieces on the board militarily, the concentration here will be spread out elsewhere. And some, there'll be more... They'll definitely be on the defensive.
Mm-hmm.
The Marquis will definitely see it as an opening of some kind.
Hey, Siva. Siva.
Oh my gosh! Wait, please.
Question for you.
Answer.
How would the dragons feel about the tree coming down?
That's a very good question from what little I know of...
I'm going to murder this headset if it cuts me off again. I freaking swear.
No. Oh no.
Technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even anything wrong with it. It's just not registering half the time. I keep moving shit. Oh my gosh.
It's kind of difficult because, to be honest, the watchtower is just an unfeeling building. People inside are the people who are really what matters.
The dragons.
Ultimately, if they got along with the rest of the people in the clearing and in turn the world, it would be great for the dragons. But clearly that's not the case, which is why we're kind of stuck where we are. But that's what we're trying to fix in the end.
Okay.
It's not possible to transform this watchtower into one of your gardens, is it?
Whatever magic was involved there, I don't think it came from Siva.
If
No.
only the answer was that simple.
That was something else. I don't have that.
If we had
ability.
access to divine intervention, you better believe I would have leveraged that.
Hey God, it's me. You owe me one.
I wouldn't have to chirp my verse up every 5 minutes. This problems that me and my orders have had would be solved if we could easily just them for things.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we have to do them.
Right.
Because they trust us.
I'm leaning towards ultimately the watchtower as a strategic installation kind of leans towards making it worse, and it would be better in the long run for the Eerie to not have such total control here. And for them to be forced to loosen up a bit. But that is also a dangerous move, and a move that we can't take back.
Mm-hmm.
So one last piece of information I feel like I should lay out there. One, because Digo would have missed it, but two, just in case it helps, is during your previous trek from Spine Rock to Shelldock, when you went through the woods, you did pass through a secret entrance to the watchtower. You could go in and get an idea of what exactly it is you're dealing with before you make this decision.
Infiltrate the watchtower.
You could. I'm just throwing out as this is another option available to you.
That might be it, actually. And we can survey the area and make a decision there whether the actual function of the watchtower is worth keeping. Because right now it's just this monolith where we know that a bunch of birds are watching.
We only have word from another bird that it's a bad idea to get rid of it.
Well,
So,
if you
who
want
wants-
to infiltrate it, I would not mind the help. I intend to survey the outside to get an idea of what it would actually take to destroy it. But if you want to explore the inside to see what we would be destroying, we can combine that intel afterwards, and before making the decision to proceed or not.
Yeah, I think that's our last job here.
Okay.
All right. So y'all are going to infiltrate the watchtower?
We are going to need disguises. We are going to need some kind of cover to get in there. Because I don't think there's a universe where we go into the biggest guardhouse and don't get seen at some point. Secret entrance or not. I would like to have disguises and some kind of cover as a backup. I've got my badge.
Using create to destroy to make the disguises would be a really bad idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Not a serious suggestion, to be clear.
I know. But if you wanted a serious answer to your not serious suggestion, what you basically implied is, I mean, if I maim you, it's like a disguise, right?
No, it's more like dressing them up in bombs. Really bad idea. Not doing it.
Also, not a disguise.
What if I just like
functionally not a disguise?
What if I just, like you could all be crows if I cover you in gunpowder?
That doesn't seem all right for several reasons.
There's no guard equipment lying around back at the ruined prison, is there?
That's all clearing away, for one thing, and two, there's going to be guards all over it now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just, and even if we did all that, we still probably wouldn't get the disguise material there.
Mm-hmm.
So, some things of note. You are in Shelldock Clearing. You have met a merchant who claims to have stuff from all over the world and has been trying to deal with eerie stuff. It's possible he has some stuff that he's not allowed to sell, technically speaking. There's also the possibility of your connections with Achilea and Skyas could potentially get you some of their guards' uniforms. Or you could just steal them from some of the guards in town.
Yay.
Is there like a clear delineation between the Skyas's guards and Claudius's guards, which I assume are going to be
the primary difference is they're all wearing largely the same armor, but they are delineated with those badges, like you were given to sort of get access between clearings.
Gotcha.
So if we had that armor plus the badges that we already have,
Well, then we'd be good with
We should
Skyus,
get
but not
the badges
Claudius.
whenever we do this.
I don't really want to ask Achillia or Skyus to be like, hey, can we borrow some uniforms for Darth's eyes from side to side reasons?
For personal reasons.
yeah, I'm in favor of seeing if we can just buy this armor.
Yeah, let's talk to
On the
that
market.
shady merchant one more time.
All right. Harold Papar is having finished his deal making and getting things prepared to take the refugees out of the Ironclaw, is over near the lake, near his little raft, and he appears to be talking to nobody.
Is he like talking into open space or into some object or what?
He's like staring out at the lake and just muttering.
Pardon the interruption, sir.
Oh, sorry. Just deep in thought, lost in whatever brains do. How can I help you?
We want to buy stuff from you.
Hey, is that so? Wow.
We're looking for specific items that you, with your wily ways and vast collection, may possess that others won't.
He gives a raised eyebrow, a wink, and a smirk, and says, "I see. One of the more interesting collectors out there, are ya? Well, luckily for you, Harold Papar is one and willing to please."
We're looking for some eerie guard uniforms that will match the ones around here, and as an outside shot, some of those medallions that Claudius's faction carry around.
Alrighty. Well, the armor should be pretty easy for me to procure. The medallions might be a bit more difficult, but let me check my stock.
This is a bit of a rush order, so it's whatever you have now.
He nods and says, "Well, luckily for you, I'm pretty good at finding what people need." And with that, he just walks completely into the lake, submerging entirely.
All right, wasn't expecting that.
Well then.
After about 3 minutes, he comes back up. He looks, how to phrase this? He's wheezing, and he is dragging 4 full suits of armor from the floor of the lake up to the coast.
Huh.
4 sets.
4 set, or oh, sorry, there are 5 of you. 5.
I was about to say, who's not fitted? Or is it 5?
It's going to be 5. None of them will be fitted because you see him very briefly open the helmet of one and toss a skull back into the lake.
Oh boy.
Slightly used. Got it.
I think
Should
these
have
have been recently put on the
expected
market.
this.
Luckily for you, I found these beauties sitting in the lake when I was coming in. Looks like some of the guards didn't exactly heed the warnings of the locals. Or they got in touch with that nasty little lizard man who was swimming around back there for a while.
Oh. Well, I'm not about to look this gift horse in the mouth.
So these are the full suits of armor, but the medallions are not present. These are old enough that they don't have any sort of medallion on them.
Makes sense.
Uh-oh. Somebody dropped.
Said
For me.
that
Verme.
their PC froze.
PC froze. Yep.
I think this...
I am still of the belief that we should have no medallions on us at any point of this.
Probably. It would help, but...
Unless we want it. No, unless we want to, like, if someone gets caught and they see that, it points fingers at a faction, and if it's one of the ones we're friendly with, it looks really bad on them.
Oh yeah, no, we're tossing the Sky's medallions before we go into this, absolutely. I was kind of assuming that it would be Claudius's faction that's mostly in there, and it would be helpful there. But if it is a group, like a mix of them, then yeah, having any one of them would be interesting. Well, I think we'll take him.
All
So,
right.
Brixie, what's your price?
My price. Well, these
You
are
take-
5
you take
complete
coin.
sets.
And Vost shows a bit of the coin from the vault.
I do take coin. So he will trade these suits of armor for 5 collective resource.
Invest in Woods coin today.
1 depletion from each of us.
Okay.
Get this back.
Yeah, we can
Later.
take that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. We have some genuine eerie guard disguises, which is always a nice thing to have.
Mm-hmm. And they're full suits. They have the helmets and everything, so you can be completely disguised.
Oh man, I so can't wait to see Siva in one of these big heavy suits.
There's a few of us
Siva
that are kind
presumably
of
gets
on
the
the small
smallest of the
side.
batch, right?
Just walks around and then walks into a wall.
I think Mint is second smallest and Siva is the smallest.
Probably. If I had to take a guess at like the size chart, it would be Siva, Mint, Vost, Yuki, Brixie. If I had to take a wild
I
guess.
feel like that, yeah.
I would agree with that 100%.
So wait, are Yuki or Brixie wearing armor over armor then?
I mean, you could just sort of get the general look right. I don't think it's not necessarily that people are going to be like looking super close.
No, I mean, if we do get into combat like that, do they now have double layers of armor?
I do not believe I can give them double layers of armor. No.
No.
The DR has been doubled.
Yes, you are invincible.
And you cannot move. Congratulations.
That I'll put it this way: since these our armor outfits have been sitting in the lake for a little bit, they're not in pristine condition. If they take a few blows, they're gonna just break.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They can be cleaned off enough that they look, new, but the structural integrity has been ruined.
All right, I think these will suit our purposes long enough to get a lay of the land inside the watchtower.
Okay.
If it comes to combat, these are ablative.
All right.
If it becomes a combat, we are in a lot more trouble than just what kind of armor we're in.
Yeah,
This fair.
That's fair. There is also the fact of if you are worried about like the tokens, the bannerets that say who you quote unquote work for, you could just take them off people once you're inside.
That is also true. There may be a few lying around.
Anywho, yeah, y'all are suitably disguised for right now.
All right. I don't think there's any time to waste. I think we just go for it.
What time of day is it, out of curiosity?
It is mid-morning and a storm is rolling in.
Perfect.
Right.
Lovely.
A storm is coming.
Physically and metaphorically.
Yes. But
that actually
whereas
could also give us some cover, is the cute thing.
Mhm. So for the past few days, it's been feeling like, it's definitely coming back. But you have the distinct feeling today is the day that it busts open. Excuse me.
All right, then.
All right. So, are y'all going to travel to that secret entrance you found?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. This is another movement through the woods. So travel through the forest. Here is what you can do. Travel slowly, foraging heavily. Everyone clears 2 depletion. Marks an exhaustion for each member, -1 to the roll. Carefully avoiding trouble collectively marks 1 depletion or exhaustion for each member, +1 to the roll. As quickly as possible, everyone marks exhaustion and depletion, +2 to the roll.
I think in this case we go as quickly as possible. I think we can take the exhaustion and depletion.
Okay.
Is everyone looking at that?
I am at 3 exhaustion right now. What happens when I check the forest? Is there a problem, or is it if I need to check exhaustion after having 4?
It's after.
Okay, so I can take this, but that is my limit.
Correct.
Well, we could also distribute it amongst other members of the. Oh wait, this question tells everyone
no,
marks.
This is everyone.
Right.
So it's not collective. It's just everybody does it.
Collectively, carefully avoiding trouble.
I'm willing
then?
I'm willing to get to my limit, since I'm going to be staying outside while you infiltrate.
Is that your plan?
So my plan is to survey the structure itself and start setting up the bombs. Not necessarily light them. If we decide we don't want to blow them, I don't have to light them. But get ready to blow if the word comes that, yeah, we're blowing it.
I'm worried that you'll be seen outside with no backup.
Setting up bombs.
Setting up bombs.
Which looks great.
No one will question it.
There is also enough bombs to take this thing down, which he may need to gather some ingredients from the forest to do.
There is that.
Still say it looks bad if he's alone setting up bombs in a place that is heavily area controlled. It looks really bad, and there's not much you can do to talk your way out of it.
I think you should come with us inside to help survey structurally on the inside as well, and then if we decide we're going to go through with this, then we can work outside and we can all work on it faster together and support each other in case someone comes calling.
All right, but only if I get to survey the inside for weak points to lessen the amount of explosives that I need as well.
That's what I was thinking, yes.
Okay.
And I'm changing my mind. I think carefully avoiding trouble so we can mark depletion or exhaustion for each band member so we can spread it out. I'm at 1 exhaustion and 1 depletion, so I can take a few.
I'm 2 each.
Yeah, 2 each as well.
As well.
All right, then I am 3 exhaustion and 1 depletion, so I'll mark a depletion if that's what we're doing.
All right, I'll mark an exhaustion and a depletion. Takes us to me to 2 each and 3 spent out of 5. So,
I can take
a depletion.
Okay, that's another 2 then. All right, that takes us to 5.
So I hate to be sort of a bearer of bad news on this. For as quickly as possible, it's not collectively.
I'm saying we change it to carefully avoiding trouble. And
then
we do it collectively.
Okay. My bad. I missed that. I apologize.
Yeah, we haven't done the roll yet, so it's going to be +1 to the roll.
All right.
Sounds
I think good.
We got that marked. So,
so who wants to roll?
I can do it, or if someone else wants to do it. All right. 2d6 plus 1 is 5.
5.
Yay.
Okay. I think it's pretty obvious what the danger is going to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
You encounter that guard you met earlier, the one you escaped to get to Shelldock. They had been that particular guard had been searching through the woods as soon as someone passed by that entrance, and losing them did not deter them. So standing in front of you, guarding that entrance, is a hawk with a tower shield, about as big as Brixie.
Uh-oh.
As soon as it's clear that she spied us. Or go ahead.
Does the hawk seem initially suspicious of us, or has they not seen us yet?
the hawk has definitely seen you, but currently sort of sizing the 5 of you up. Because you look different than before, obviously, but still a group of 5 traveling together through the woods, not directly through the path.
We were a group of 6 before. A 6 and change, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You were coming with Akelia. That said, you still didn't come from like the standard path that the soldiers
that is true
would have come from. So currently looking at you with suspicion.
Vost tips his helmet towards her.
She sort of huffs and puts the shield down in front of her, blocking sort of the entrance for the 5 of you. And then she just sort of looks at you and goes, "Name and rank, all of you."
Oh boy.
Let's see. Yuki will like stop and bow and go, Gomen, sorry, I am new to this army. I am a mercenary from Yamato that was recently conscripted. I suppose private. I still don't understand the language here very well. And I think I'm wanting to use my well-mannered move.
Okay.
To
roll with cunning. All right.
Yeah. And
I'm
to
assuming
try to I guess demonstrate my value. Would that be? Yeah.
Yeah, it's that or charm. Either one would work.
Yeah, I guess charm would take a +1 on going to speak with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, let me try that. So cunning
Go for it.
is +2.
Oh wait, yeah, on a 7 and 9, you get 2 of them. So
this is actually a pretty good plan, because at least demonstrating that you...
Oops.
I see what I did.
That you are a... that you genuinely do... Oh, hey, nice.
Nice. Hold 3.
Okay. So in that case, yeah, let me go both demonstrate my value.
You get 3 here, so...
Yeah, so I'm going to do that one, and then I'm going to take the charm and then keep the hold.
All right.
For anything else.
Sounds good. The guard huffs one more time and goes, "Damn, Claudius always hiring these outside people. First that dumb wolf thing, and now this. Fine, but who are the rest of you?"
I, Newbiespud the player, don't know.
I left my helmet somewhere, and the others were trying to help me find it. Sorry, ma'am.
I don't know. I the player, Newbiespud, don't know anything about, like, eerie rings, but I'm assuming Mint does. Can I roll cunning to trick an NPC?
Sure.
Actually, if Mint looks a little lost, Vost will whisper in his ear the rank structure that Vost is quite familiar with, having actually been in the Eerie army.
I'm saying me as the player, I don't know. But Mint probably does, so I'm just going to leave it to the dice. That is what I am saying.
Okay.
So, trick an NPC, roll with cunning.
Yeah. I figured this is more about how believable is this than anything else.
I'm also going to be making sure to show my eerie insignia. It's an 8.
That is at least one success. So, you can choose either they hesitate, shake their confidence, or weaken their morale. They stumble, you gain a critical opportunity, or they overreact, take +1 forward against them. Excuse me again.
I'm going to say they stumble in some way here.
Okay. Okay. Here is the question that I would like to ask you.
Sure.
Do you think she stumbles because she wasn't expecting an answer so quickly? Or do you think she stumbles because you said your rank was higher than hers?
Oh, one of those is more fun than the other, more volatile. I'm going to say I slipped up and accidentally claimed my rank was higher than hers.
Okay. She does, in fact, reflexively salute you and then go, wait, but no, I know which people are higher than me here. I've been through all those damn promotional ceremonies. That means you're from the outside, right?
Yep, out of town, came in with some new hires. I'm not here to step on anyone's talons. I'm just here to facilitate, not here to cause any interjurisdictional friction.
So has the Senate finally sent the backup Claudius asked for to get rid of Publia?
Well, I couldn't exactly say such a thing out loud, could I? I wouldn't be...
She smirks!
I wouldn't, I wouldn't be at the rank I am if I just said that to everyone.
She smirks and steps aside for the lot of you and says, forgive my rudeness, sir. I'm just getting a bit antsy here.
Aren't we all? I had read the reports, but to actually take stock of things here, it is something else. You are commendable for dealing with the stress.
She smirks and sort of pats the arm holding the tower shield in a gesture of like, yes, I am in fact that awesome. Before continuing by saying, well, I should hope that I'm at least doing my job properly, given all the hard work I put in at Moonshadow Clearing.
Mm-hmm. Not going to follow up on that, because Oh, Moonshadow, is that...
That's the one y'all came from.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's
this figure is now a little more recognizable.
I don't think we should dwell. All right. Yes, indeed. I'd actually just surveyed there before coming here, so indeed commendable. You're going places, and thank you for doing your job so admirably. And we go inside before this goes on any further.
All right. As she steps aside and sort of opens the shield up, you see there's a small key hanging from it on the inside.
Oh. Hanging from her...
It's hanging from her wrist.
Hmm.
So, taking it, not an easy thing, but you do see it.
I don't have roguish feats that strong. I don't know if anyone has like the pickpocketing skill here.
Probably not.
That's not really what we're about. Yeah, no, I think we leave.
Nope, but they have the other two around it.
Yeah.
Same here.
We are not a steal something under someone's nose party.
Mm-hmm.
Stealing is bad.
I think. Well, that's not going to touch that one.
Stealing is bad.
We're gonna leave that opportunity be, DM.
That's perfectly fine. I just wanted you to know that it was there.
Indeed.
Stealing is bad
before
in
you
all
all
skill level sense.
Before you all completely go inside, however, the hawk does place a talon on Brixie's shoulder and say, "You and I should spar sometime. You seem like you'd be one of the few to put up a good challenge."
Sure.
And she pats you on the shoulder, and you are now completely free to go inside. She will go back to her post. Congratulations, you solved my Faustina puzzle.
Faustina?
That's the name of the guard.
Okay. Turns out all I had to do was brazenly claim that ranker.
All you had to do was lie. Who would have guessed?
The thing I'm good at? No way.
Stealing, bad. Lying, perfectly all right.
All right, so we are inside.
You are inside the watch tree, and you can see that the inside of this is an enormous structure. There are, in fact, arrow holes and fortified positions spread all throughout every single floor. It has been built up with stairways for those who can't fly, but also an enormous central passageway for those who can. Making it all the way to the top, where there is and this tree is a good 15 stories tall. It is an enormous tree. That said, it has been carved pretty significantly on the inside, and there are sections that are clearly dead or dying, and that guards are discussing openly, trying to figure out a way to refortify those particular positions. There are guards sort of posted throughout, but they are clearly they're bundled in groups of about 3, and it definitely seems like they are a mix of every particular clearing's guards.
Yeah, this is a responsibility that all the guards share. This is not yeah. The one outside is clearly with Claudius, but
Vost immediately gets to surveying, trying not to be obvious, but he is taking in the whole thing and looking for, okay, what points do I need to inspect more carefully?
All right. It's fairly easy for you to get a good idea of that. There are several positions on the base of the tree that are definitely starting to show signs of wear and tear. There's even a few sections where you can almost punch straight through to the bark. But those are the ones that are clearly being like fortified. They're adding additional structures. It seems like they've even brought in some steel. You do see 1 or 2 foxes who are like making measurements, and they appear to be blacksmiths. They look like they're trying to figure out the best way to add some sort of metal to the structure to keep things together. And that's just on the ground floor. You can see higher up there are sections where the wood is just completely dead and an absolute fire hazard. And it could very easily spread if something started there.
How willing do these foxes look?
Not very.
Miss?
They look extremely uncomfortable to be here because this is the watch tree. And on top of that, they are just, they're if they make a mistake, they understand that it will be on their heads, literally. So they are both worried about what their job is and worried about the people they are working for.
Mint? Siva? I do believe we have targets for your particular skills.
the foxes are what now?
They're blacksmiths, and they're they're basically doing measurements and trying to find the best locations to add material to resupport the structure of the guard tree.
They are also unwilling slaves.
I don't think me opening my mouth in my usual fashion will help us here at all. Because that usually involves, stuff that the Eerie doesn't really like.
Yeah, I don't think evangelizing at them is going to help too much.
No, but you could possibly aid them or cheer them on give them moral comfort.
Do you just want me to ask where the structural weaknesses are? Because I can do that.
If you think that they would yield so simply, sure.
Worth a shot. I go over to the Fox Blacksmiths and flash my badge.
They both nervously stand at attention and screw up a salute. How can we help you, sir?
Just give me a status report on your work here.
You see, first the issue is that the material we require is going to involve digging up a whole bunch of the mountain, and the other fox just sort of slaps him and goes, here, 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 and here. We can do this, but it's going to take at least a month.
Is that your honest estimation, or is that your generous estimation?
I'm not sleeping next week, my estimation.
Very well, thank you, as you were. I walk away.
He salutes, and then you hear the younger fox arguing about, like, why the hell did you slap me? And the other fox goes, do you really want to throw all that jargon at them? They don't know shit from Shinola, buddy.
I have no interest in correcting them. All right, and I go to Vost and say, all right, there, and there.
So
I saw them pointing. I also saw them talking about jargon. Do you think it would be safe for me to ask them in jargon?
I've already kind of completed the encounter. I think another person coming up and asking is gonna make them a bit more suspicious, and they're already kind of on edge. Besides, all they're really concerned about is what materials are they gonna reinforce it with, and what that timetable is going to be like. I think that's about what we're getting from them.
Okay.
Of note, it's pretty clear that based on that answer, that reinforcing the watch tree is something that a lot of parties are interested in. So
that is true. Yeah, this is... Everyone in the Eyrie wants this to be kept up.
Well, everyone in the upper ranks, or most of those in the upper ranks, not necessarily the common.
Mm-hmm.
But they've also been lagging behind on keeping it maintained and carving too much out of this to make more function and room. They've stretched the resource here to its limit.
What's that? An empire doing something like that? I've never heard of that happening before.
So how many more resources would be spent on this if it was allowed to stay up?
Well, they'd mine out part of a mountain over the course of a few months. So,
when all that metal could go to much better use.
Possibly.
Forks and spoons.
You laugh.
Knives,
That is
too.
actually a better use.
I know. I just find that funny as like the immediate thought.
Well, no, that's something that Vost says in character, if that is said to him in character.
Well, nobody in the party laughed. That was the mysterious voice of God.
Speaking to us. See? I'm kidding.
Siva was right. All hail the dragon.
Even the dragons laugh.
All right. So, how would you like to proceed?
Are the indicated areas significantly guarded at all?
It's difficult to get a good eye on anything that's beyond the bottom floor, but the stuff that's on the bottom floor isn't being guarded. There are locations where people are keeping watch, because if something goes down, then there's a chance that the entire tree goes down. So there are guard posts near it, but they aren't expressly watching it, if that makes sense.
But they are kind of in public areas.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, to plant a bomb there would be best done with distractions.
Correct.
Or maybe from the outside.
From the outside.
Yeah, I think they're watching the inside more than the outside of these locations, and these aren't areas that have, because they're not structurally sound, these aren't areas that have like arrow slits or anything.
Mm-hmm. Plus, the lower you are in the tree, the more you just get view of the woods outside, which is important, but not maybe a big area of attack.
Yeah.
So in other words, going outside would be best to plant bombs.
Some of them, yes.
But the structural weaknesses, at least close to the outer part of the tree, are easier to sabotage from outside than inside. What are the structural weaknesses on the interior?
The interiors, the area of the biggest sort of structural weakness on the interior is there is a sort of central support beam that stretches from the bottom of the tree clear to the top to serve as sort of a base for the floor at the top of the tree. It has some rotting elements, but the bigger worry about it is it's very dry in comparison to everything else.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see that they every now and again there is some kind of oil applied by a guard to a portion of the pillar in order to sort of keep it not completely absolute ruining disaster fire hazard.
Yeah, if this thing goes up in actual flames, that is very bad for this entire section of wood.
Yes, especially because this is the tallest thing and the tallest thing in the Ironclaw, and storms like tall things.
Yeah.
So it might be best to collapse this in as opposed to contain the flame.
If it caught fire, yes.
And possibly just before the storm comes in, so there will be a lot of rain, right?
Correct.
Yeah, actually.
There will be thunder, possibly, when your bombs are going off.
Yeah, what if we covered this up as like an act of God?
Yes, blame the GM.
Or a strike on a tree that caught fire because it's old and rotting.
And is very, very tall? Yeah, I could see that.
It does look like it has caught fire before and has been successfully put out. There do seem to be charred sections of the wood.
Yeah, I think structurally this thing needs to come down, but if we can, like, do that in such a way that the evidence that it was a bombing is covered up for a while because of the raging storm.
If it's covered up for a while, that may be covered up permanently.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that they'll go over the ruined site with a fine-tooth comb looking for any sort of foul play, but yeah, if it's clear, if it's not even clear that it's bombing, that it just seems like it just came down with the storm because it was so structurally unsound, that might be the best outcome. That way, that doesn't look like it's an attack and signal to the entire wood that they've, weakened because that an enemy got in. That just because, the Eerie failed.
Yeah, the watchtower is gone, but the Eerie don't blame anyone for it. I could definitely go for that.
Yeah, that. Oh my goodness, that might actually be. All right.
And then a stray thought hits Vost, and out of morbid curiosity, he goes to one of the drier, rotted parts of the central, kneels down, puts his ear on the floor, and knocks on the floor, hoping against hope that he hears mostly solid below and not hollow. Do I need to roll for this?
I think you need to roll something to not make it look suspicious.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah, you kneeling in the middle of the floor and listening to the floor is, in full armor, is...
Luck?
It feels like a trust fate roll.
Can I...
I don't think I don't think you have the roguish feat sneak.
Can I help at least?
Actually, yes, I do have the roguish feat sneak.
Oh wait, sorry. It'd be hide in this case. I apologize.
So, and that one too.
Yeah. Oh, you do have both?
I
You
have
could
sneak and I have hide.
I would accept attempt roguish feat hide, and you absolutely can help.
So that would
Yeah.
still be luck, though, right?
No, it's attempt a roguish feat. with
Attempt a
finesse.
roguish feat is finesse.
Okay, well, +2 either way. And am I getting a +1 for help?
You're getting +1 from me because
Well-
I'm trying to set up some kind of distraction or cover to make it look less awkward.
I believe you can help after the roll, but just before
Oh, yeah.
answer.
Okay, so I get a +2, and then if necessary,
Add
like,
1 to the
Min
final
can add
result,
a +1.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Helper interferes mark exhaustion after rolling.
My
Okay,
+1
got an 8.
can't improve that result, so yeah.
All right. With an 8, you are going to. Oh, this is a. Okay. You can't mark exhaustion, correct?
I can, actually, because we took that other one. So
okay.
I'm only at 3 exhaustion right now.
All right. I can either. So my options are I can make you take exhaustion, or
One
I
of the
can make
risks.
this. Yeah, or I can take one of the risks. I don't think expending resources makes sense here. I don't think leaving evidence makes much sense here.
Can I
He is
try?
the evidence.
Can I spend one of my hold to cover up a faux pas by one of my allies?
You know what? You can.
Just by being unerringly polite to anyone who's like,
I'll just be like, "What are you doing?" They'll be like, "Oh, she's got that handled."
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So you will clear 1 exhaustion, and the taking too long is going to be the punishment, but it is covered very well by Yuki.
So I take 1 exhaustion, or you mean, right? Not clear?
Oh, no, you don't. No, sorry. Yuki clears 1 exhaustion.
Yeah, I clear.
Okay.
one
You take no
exhaustion.
exhaustion. Because I went with the risk instead of the exhaustion. You don't take any. Like nothing happens, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you're like kneeling there for too long, I'm like, "What are you doing? We're supposed to be at the I don't know, the Lagrange point something."
Heading to the armory or the barracks or something. Yeah,
Okay, that all
I
said-
assume
Del said, does he hear hollow underneath?
there is something hollow underneath. There's not a
As in
visible
possibly-
staircase down, though.
Oh, so we're not on the ground floor.
No, you are on the ground floor.
but there's a
But
basement?
there's a basement.
Okay.
I believe it.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean,
that they
the-
would
a tree-
dig down into the roots like that, but
Almost as
The
if we're
ear-
playing a game named Root.
The Erie might not have, but remember, this wasn't all Erie at one point.
oh,
Double people.
Can we go down inconspicuously?
There's no visible staircase
we
down.
don't know how to get down there is the problem.
Not inconspicuously, anyway.
Yeah, unless you wanted to take an axe to the floor.
But if it's
maybe
down there, would we be able to just like make the charges go where it, the tree goes down?
That is a possibility. So allow me to rephrase because this might help. There's no visible path down from the inside.
So this is another thing to inspect outside.
I think so, yeah.
Potentially, yes.
We have to go out to go in.
Mm-hmm. You have to go out to go in to go down.
Good.
This really is a
Vost.
dungeon. Look at all this backtracking.
Yeah. Actually, good thinking, Vost. If there's a basement compartment,
We need is a mage.
I'm your wordsmith. I charm people
Are you
by
mad
talking at them.
though?
Because then it
Yes.
would be a Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
That wasn't actually what I was afraid of, but I'll take this result.
What were you afraid of, out of curiosity?
That we're not the only ones looking to topple this. Either in the past, or possibly now.
To be fair,
That's-
you know you specifically aren't the only ones who want to topple
Yeah.
this because you were hired to do it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, not the only ones who want to, but not the only ones who are actively engaged in the effort of.
Correct.
That's a few steps ahead, but I don't mind it in this case.
hmm
Right. Well, if there is someone else actively engaged, we should find out the details before we start doing it.
Yeah.
Especially
But-
if they are trying to topple it in a direction.
More importantly, if this basement doesn't have an entrance from the ground floor, there's a chance that none of the Eerie soldiers here actually know about it, and we have something to learn there, something valuable.
And we can plant the bombs more easily if we decide to blow this place.
Yeah. I don't
So,
feel like
all,
there's
all in
much...
favor of heading out to head down?
Yeah, I don't think there's much else we can learn from inside unless we want to like go up to where the offices are, which I don't think I want to expose ourselves that heavily. So
That's not our purpose here, yes.
There's also going to the absolute top and getting a full view of the clearings and what all might be visible.
I think we can just safely assume all of it.
Yes. I mean, there's more, but yes. It's a very tall tree.
Yeah, and climbing all that way up. Well, I don't know. I think Mint would be like, I haven't been in a lot of tall trees like this. I think I got to go at least once.
Squirrel instincts kicking in.
Little bit, yeah.
Is Mint actually looking to go up?
Yeah, I think I might just like head up to the top real quick, see if there's anything of note visible up there, and then we make our way back down and outside.
Would you like a lift?
You know what? Yeah, that would be much better than climbing all the stairs.
Okay, Vost will try to lift Mint and go up, looking like, yeah, he's a bird lifting another guard because they want to go up.
I mean, there are some known non-bird guards, so... All right. Given that you are both wearing armor, and this is 15 stories of tree, I think I'm gonna have to ask you to mark exhaustion.
Yeah.
Okay, marking exhaustion.
Just because of how much this is.
Fortunately, I still have one last exhaustion to mark.
Yes. Fortunately. Okay. So, from the top of the watch tree, it is extremely understandable why this position would be valued. You can see with stunning clarity the each of the clearings of the Ironclaw and their connecting paths. You can see the dam that keeps the Mosswort River from completely overflowing and completely isolating the Ironclaw as how it used to be. You can see the full breadth of Lake Elah, which is astounding in its width and length. It almost looks like an ocean. You can just barely see the other side. And you understand why the people of Sheldock might have some deep fears about what might be in that lake.
Because there's a lot in it.
There's a lot to it. It is the equivalent of one of the Great Lakes, which you can see it has its own sort of waves and tide going on.
Dang.
You can see the storm that is rolling in, and in fact are starting to feel some raindrops coming in. The clouds, these great pulsating gray masses. You hear the rumble of thunder deep in the distance. And you can see beyond the Ironclaw. You can see Moonshadow clearing from here, the remnants of what happened. You can see several other clearings from this point, all of which have eerie flags planted in them. And you can see, Mint and Vost, you see something that the guards might not notice. You see there's a small campfire happening in between two of those clearings, and the smoke might not be of note to the guards, but the two of you notice that it's passing some kind of message along. Because the smoke is periodically covered and uncovered. There are gaps in it as it rises from the wood.
Who's sending? Can I read smoke signals?
Think that would be a roll.
Yeah.
I think it's a. I would allow figure someone out here.
Read it. Well, yeah, I think it's figure someone out as the closest thing.
Yeah,
Even though
that or trust fate.
I mean, no, I think it would be read a tense situation probably, because I'm not really interacting with anyone here. I'm not really.
That's
I'm not really
true.
trying to charm anyone. I think I'm just trying to like see if I can see what they're trying to communicate.
Can Vost try trust fate as well?
I will allow that. So one read a tense situation from Mint and one trust fate from Vost. I will allow this.
We both got
So
6.
Same roll.
The same roll from both of you. Okay. So you both are examining this smoke signal, and neither of you quite piece together what it is. But the two of you standing there looking at it means that the guards finally take notice of it.
Okay.
They approach, and one of them will sort of say, "So wait a minute, that's not right. Two of you understand what that message is trying to say?"
Been trying,
Can't say I
but
do.
can't make heads or tails of it, sir. It's a little small and been a long time since I read the smoke signals manual.
Well, this isn't my area of expertise either. I'd better go get the captain.
So that you do.
And the guard will go. The guard will turn to leave, and then turn back to the two of you and go, "Can you two keep an eye on it? Tell me if anything changes."
Actually, we were thinking of going down and investigating in person. I mean, the storm's coming, so whoever it is going to be scramming soon.
How long are you going to be? If it's going to be like a minute, then we can stay here for a minute, sure.
It depends on how busy the captain is. He likes to do his rounds.
Well, we have our own tasks to attend to, so we'll be here for another couple minutes, and then we might find someone else to hold it for us. But we'll do our best.
Fine. And he'll leave. So do you stick to that word, or do you bolt?
I'm really tempted to at least make contact with Claudius just so I have the full set. Because he's the only one of the big four we haven't seen.
I suppose that's true.
And the fact that this is the guy who hired Collarhonesmeister kind of rubs me the wrong way personally, but I think it's probably in our best bet to go. I think it's time for us to go.
All right. So the two of you Amscray then.
And on our way down, I kind of think aloud, like, this strategic position gives whoever holds it a ton of power over the area, over everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is not just a watchtower. This is a surveillance advantage like almost nothing else in the wood.
At least in this part of the wood, yeah.
Why do you think we want it down?
Yeah, I didn't quite grasp the full breadth of it until we were up there and we could see it. And for a moment, looking out there, I thought, man, if I had this. And that's kind of when it became clear to me that no one should.
I can imagine rulers responsible enough to not abuse this power. I don't think any of them exist in any of the woodlands we just saw. Any of them.
Probably not. It's... it's amazing how potent this is. For all the technological advances and all the political maneuvering and all of that jazz, and the most potent, powerful thing is just a really tall tree.
Now, can you imagine if they would allow Denizen to send messages through here? Signal flags or something. Can you imagine the denizens from woodlands of several woodlands across, all getting along, all cooperating? But the Eyrie would never allow that. The Eyrie, this kind of power is just for them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... now that you say that, yeah, this would be a great tool to have for the denizens, but the Eyrie will never let this go. Damn. I don't know, some part of this still doesn't feel right, like, it's a part of the wood.
It is, but it's been corrupted.
Yeah, it's been hollowed out from the inside over the course of decades, probably.
Hollowed out, rotted, abused, and we haven't even gotten to the root of the problem.
Huh. Yeah, maybe it's time for nature to take its course and for Storm to take it down. Maybe with a little help.
Yep.
Maybe
that's what they'll say.
That's just the tragedy of nature.
Just remember how much we're helping the denizens by doing this.
Not a whole lot. We're just kind of toppling it over to make some chaos and get out without even owning the consequences. So, but we've done our best. It's time to finish this.
Sometimes a wound has to bleed to heal. Meanwhile...
So how much trouble did everybody else get into while we're doing this?
Siva, Yuki, Brixie, while they're exploring the top, what are you doing?
Playing cards.
Sure, cards.
Well, actually, I think
Innocent cards.
Yuki is actually looking around and trying to tell maybe what some of the guard movements are through the tree, and paying attention to like what might be like choke points that she'd be able to hold them at if people needed to get away.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's kind of just trying to remain inconspicuous while looking around.
All right. Brixie, Siva, are you participating in that as well, or are you playing cards?
Thought they were playing cards.
Hey, you're just waiting for your turn. It's a 2-player card game.
Yeah,
See, we're your cover.
Yeah.
Just look down at the game every 5 seconds.
All right. While you're sitting there playing cards and examining choke points, a guard sits down next to you and tosses in some coin. Deal me in next, okay?
Sure.
And then another guard sits down. A much larger guard. A much more familiar guard.
Huh.
Oh no. Is it my best friend?
And Carl Hundmeister.
Ah!
I knew he was here. I was waiting for you to throw this card out.
Carl Hundmeister sets down some coin of his own and says, "Why don't we switch to a 4-player game? Yes."
Yeah, sure.
Throw this card out into a card game.
The moment you said this was Claudius's holdout, I should have known.
He literally mentioned that there was a dog here.
Yeah,
or a canine.
it was all there, and I just hoped. I
was
just
right
didn't want to believe it.
there.
Oh.
And now it's barking and calling us friend.
Yeah.
Oh. The rival grifter has entered the scene, and this is bad news.
Oh, goodness. So do you quit that game and start up a 4-player one?
Yes.
Sure, because doing otherwise would be really suspicious.
It sure would.
But
Carl looks.
You're also letting him take control of and
The
keep you
situation.
hostage there. It as suspicious as saying, I mean, I'm not there. I can't actually give you advice.
But there's literally no way out of it because saying no is like, well, why? Huh?
Yeah, but like the suspicion you get there would at least not let him like take control of the situation and hold you hostage there.
Well,
already
he's keeping
held
him busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's also keeping you busy.
Well,
We were not doing anything.
But now we're about to need to do some things as soon as we're back.
So go do your thing.
Well, this is simultaneously around what you were doing, so.
Okay.
Yeah, this started about the same time as you got up to the top.
Yeah.
You still got to come down 15 floors.
Anyway.
So
that's enough of me freaking out. I'm done.
Carl will request that he shuffle. And then look at the two of you, Siva and Brixie, and go, "So, my friend and I here have contributed, so what will you be throwing into the pot?"
Real talk, we have coins from the vault.
Mm-hmm.
We do have money we can throw into this.
Yeah, we do.
I have no need for money. I have no reason for money, so I have no reason not to be throwing out my share sparingly to gamble.
Alright.
Just to keep up the facade, yeah.
I am clearly defending my choices.
That might be a really bad idea.
Yeah, a lot of things are bad ideas, Spud.
Brixie, what are you throwing into the pot?
Yeah, I'll throw some coins too. I mean, what else do I got?
Just small coins.
I
Yeah.
mean, you could throw in any number of things.
We just started. We're not going to throw like $700,000 worth of coins.
I'm not
immediately.
talking that, but you're far from the only people playing cards on break or whatever. You've heard people swapping shifts and stuff as what their wager is.
Do I got any snacks?
Hey, yeah, you could have snacks.
Okay.
I throw in a muffin.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll throw in a wager of some snacks too, because
I mean, actually, specifically speaking, you would have some of unless you ate them during your travels, you would still have some of those bags from Mana's bakery.
yeah, I mean that's certainly something other than standard fare guard food, so it might be worth something.
Yeah.
Standard ration.
So yeah, snacks.
All right. Are you both throwing in snacks or just Brixie?
I'm throwing in a muffin.
All right. Carl, you hear the thump 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 of Carl's tail wagging as he sees the snacks and says, "Oh, well, I'll have to certainly play my best here." And he proceeds to shuffle the cards, and we're gonna do some dice rolling. This is not strictly speaking cards. This is luck. You're both unless you want to try and do some cheating here, you can do some rolling and trust fate.
Siva and Brixie, the most likely to cheat at anything.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say, my luck is 0. I cannot actively justify her cheating.
If you
I did, it would be really obvious.
Yeah. That said, let's see. You could. There are some other options you could do. Attempt roguish feats. Figure someone out. You could basically. Here's how I'm going to phrase this. You can use this opportunity to win and get some depletion back, or you can use this opportunity to figure out what Carl's doing.
Both are
and
good.
Forfeit the game, basically. How would you like to proceed?
Read his poker face.
Yeah, reading sounds more important.
All right. So that will be figure someone out.
Okay.
Who would like to roll that?
What would it be? A roll?
Figure someone out is charm. I'm double checking to see if there's any particular things that y'all might have bonuses for.
You can roll that.
I got plus 2. I can roll well.
I have a -1. You can roll that.
All right, then I guess Brixie will roll the charm.
All right.
See if the dice agree.
They do.
That's a 10. Wolf understands dog.
Also,
on a 10,
Brixie being the most like openly honest and straightforward of the bunch probably has less for Carl to read.
Probably, yeah. On a 10 plus, hold 3. You spend the holds 1 for 1. Is the character telling the truth? What is the character really feeling? What does the character intend to do? What does the character wish I would do? And how could I get the character to blank?
You
get 3 of those.
Let's see. I like, what does your character intend to do? What does your character wish I'd do?
You can hold as I answer these, by the way.
Okay.
So
let's start with what does the character intend to do?
Carl intends to keep you guys here for a set period of time.
Uh-oh.
What is your... When I say what is your character really feeling, they mean that character, Carl, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You are asking these questions of them.
Gotcha. Then,
because this applies to NPCs and PCs.
Okay. We'll ask that one next then.
All right. Carl is excited. Carl is seems to be it seems to be at a point where things are sort of coming to fruition for him in some capacity, and he loves seeing a plan come together.
This is your fault.
What?
All right.
Your existence brought this dog upon us.
So
I mean,
everything is literally your fault.
I mean,
only partially wrong.
Yeah. From a meta perspective, probably yes.
So he wants to keep us here. He's really excited about what's going on and how everything's falling into place. So the third question I think I will ask is, how could I get him to let us go?
How could you get him to let you go? I think the way to get him to let you go is to give him something he wants, to either offer him something that he wants more than whatever is about to happen, or to present him with an opportunity that is greater than whatever he is currently plotting.
Hmm. Okay then.
I would like the both of you to roll Trust Fate just to see who wins this card game.
Trust fate, yeah. So that's luck.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not me. Guys,
Yikes.
I never said I was good at cards. Just playing them.
Well, no.
2, a 5. All right, I'm gonna roll this. I'm gonna roll 2d6 twice myself
did
just
good.
to see who gets this.
Showing off.
It's the random guard.
Yeah.
I think Carl was a bit too distracted by trying and read Brixie. So he
honestly, this is very appropriate. We're focused on each other and we're just ignoring this
Gar's
other
like,
guy.
wow, y'all
It is
suck at this.
Completely appropriate that he wins.
So this random guard takes the coin, the snacks, and he's like, "Well, I'm set for lunch." Taps Yuki on the shoulder and goes, "You can hop in now if you want."
I think Yuki will sit down then and look between all of them, trying to hide the extensive worry on her face.
Without even asking, Carl will start dealing another set of hands. And this time he's going to say, "Now that it's just the four of us, how would you like to wager some information instead?"
Can I offer you a cookie instead?
I fully believe that he was lying in wait for me to leave before you did all this.
So
this is torture.
Carl will look at you, Siva, and go, "If that's all you have to offer, then sure, fine."
I don't really have much information, but I'll offer you a cookie because you're really nice and you did play with us.
You'd be surprised what information is helpful, but if that's all you wish to offer, then fine. I will accept that from you.
Friendship cookies.
He basically just points at the table to put it in the pot, basically. And yes, as Swest points out, squirrel, dog turns and runs the other direction.
Yuki will be like, unfortunately, I do not have any cookies to wager, so I suppose I'll have to take you up on your offer.
Very well. And you, Miss Wolf?
I suppose information. I do have a couple questions for you.
All right. Well, it's 3 against 1, so surely you cannot fail. All right. How would you all like to resolve this?
Here, a squirrel screaming in the distance.
So if nobody's cheating, I should point out the bot does have a card function as well, specifically for this kind of situation.
Let's just go with the rolls.
I think I would prefer rolls in this situation. So, given this, here is how I will allow it. Since now it's a much more serious kind of game, you can read a tense situation. In this case, you are literally reading Carl's poker face. If you have an appropriate roguish feat, you can do that to try and cheat in some capacity. You could attempt to trick him in some capacity. You could just trust fate, and you can also help each other. So you could in a capacity go, all in on one person, or you could sort of each do your own attempts at reading Carl and figuring out what you want out of this.
How much do you want that cookie?
Listen, it's a pretty good cookie.
I can do the help and give it to Yuki.
Okay, I'll do a read a tense situation then.
Okay.
Let's see, what is that rolling with?
Cunning.
Cunning? Okay, good.
Wrong dice code.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
So many different pots.
That's a 9. Okay, that help action will be significant. That will make that into a 10. So do you want to mark exhaustion and do that, Brixie?
Yes, I will mark exhaustion.
All right. Siva, would you like to contribute anything? You could interfere, if you wanted to, with the roll I'm about to make for Carl. Or you could do one of the other moves, if you so desire, to help this path along.
I can interfere by talking about how really good the cookie is and how you should eat it because it doesn't need to be offered. It's just a cookie between friends.
You could.
I could. I probably will.
All right. Okay. So in that case, the two of you would mark. Well, let's see what kind of roll Carl makes real fast, and then we can make that full determination on victory. Oops, I did a wrong code too. Blast. Carl's cunning is 3. Oh snap, it's a tie otherwise.
Ooh.
Okay, so yes. If you both you can choose which one you'd like to do. You can either mark exhaustion to help Yuki or mark exhaustion to hurt Carl.
Let's swing on exhaustion out again. Fuck. Oh, I have exhaustion to spare. Yeah. I can distract this time.
All right, that's what you'd like to do. Did you want to do the help or hurt, Brixie?
I was doing the help.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying at this point you don't both have to do it.
Oh.
So it's how would you like to proceed? Do you want to still do it anyway? So it's a 10 instead of a 9?
Yeah, I think the 10 would be extra helpful.
Okay. All right. So between the 10 versus the 7 is an obvious victory for Yuki. And you still get the benefits of read a tense situation, so you get 3.
Mhm.
What are the 3 questions you would like to ask?
Let me see here. Read a tense situation. So let's see. What should I be on the lookout for?
What you should be on the lookout for is, with regards to the card game, Carl was 100% cheating. He, when he shuffled the deck, he was doing some nice looking but technically bad shuffling in order to try and give himself a better hand. With regards to
that he lost.
Yes. With regards to the external situation, Carl is clearly waiting for someone. So Carl himself may not be the threat, but whatever he's waiting on probably is.
Okay. And then
Then who or what is the biggest threat?
yeah, who or what is the biggest threat?
Carl.
Carl responds directly to Claudius. So it's fair to assume that the biggest threat is going to be Claudius and his particular entourage.
Okay, and so since Carl is trying to keep us here, what's my best way out?
Your best way out was winning this card game, because if he has to give up information, that will certainly be an issue. And the other way out is there's a guard coming down the stairs who appears to be looking for someone of higher rank than him.
See. Okay. And I still have that one hold from my well-mannered, I think.
Or if
No,
you
you
used that one.
Use that for Vost.
Oh, right. In this case, this is sort of like, okay, so I know he's cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to call upon him to uphold the rule of card game.
The rules of war. The card game, war.
Maybe that's what we were playing. You don't know.
I'm the DM? Sure. If you are, roll with might.
I know, this is such a weird roll. It would have been the same as cunning, so...
No, I understand.
And you call
I think...
upon a reasonable foe to uphold a rule of war.
I mean, yeah, that kind of works, actually.
I think...
Underhanded tactics in a fight.
With an 11...
Damn!
They feel obliged to choose one, and they must follow.
Yeah, okay, so... she'll look at Carl and look at the cards, and then look at him again and go, I believe that you must have made some sort of error when dealing these, because I don't think that there's 2 aces of hearts in one deck.
I believe Carl will take a moment, and he will stick out his hands to take the cards back from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And presuming you all oblige, he'll say, very well, but I couldn't help but try to see whether or not you were as sharp-eyed as your little friend. So, what information do you want from me? A deal is a deal, and you won this game, so what would you like to know?
Whatever you're planning to do here, what can we do to just, I don't know, go on with what we're trying to do in an amicable way?
My recommendation would be to do your best to get out, and try your hardest not to look like a guard.
Could you be more specific?
His boss is totally making a surprise inspection.
That's what I was thinking. They're coming right here.
Okay, well, it was nice playing with you, but I believe I'm stationed somewhere else along with my 2 comrades.
We are?
Yes.
Carl will stand up, salute, and say, very well, soldiers, return to your post.
Let's get out of here.
And at roughly the same time, one of the guards pulls Carl aside and says, Captain, there's some kind of weird signal up at the top. I need you to check it out. So Carl will be going up the stairs.
Oh no!
Good luck, you guys.
We totally pass by each other, don't we?
You absolutely do. Carl does not make a scene of it, but you do see him smile a little bit.
And he
And me
does see
without
me
exhaustion
grimace
to
a little
carry you
bit.
down.
I try to hide behind Vost a little bit, but I know that it's not really of any use.
Fortunately for you, he does not seem to. He seems to be too occupied to deal with the situation.
We'll try to flag them over with enough let's get out of here. That sideways head tilt towards the exit thing.
Don't have to tell me twice. Don't have to tell me twice. We are out.
All right.
Let's try to find that underground section there. The basement.
Indeed.
And I will also relay to Mint the whole maybe we shouldn't be looking like guards when everything goes down.
Yeah, once we set all this, we ditch the outfits and go, yeah.
I don't think Carl knows what your plan is. So he was telling you to not look like guards for some other reason.
Yeah. No, yeah, there's
His plan.
But it's how we get out of whatever we're doing and whatever he's doing Amic. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, so exploring along the base of the tree.
Exploring the base of the tree, it's fairly easy to find sort of the areas where those structural integrity issues were. You have to be careful around the various entrances, but it's fairly easy to sneak past. They're not being watched all the time, given their sort of precarious placement.
Okay, looking for ways down.
Yeah. As for finding a way down, that seems to be a bit more difficult. I'm going to need a roll.
Kind of roll.
You could go with Trust Fate. You could go with Wreck Something to try and just break through something on the way down. There is Read a Tent Situation would also allow you to find the best way in, out, through, potentially.
Trust Fate, I think.
Yeah, this is just a search, so.
And one other thing real fast. Sorry, just double checking something here.
Vost is not finding it on his own without help.
Siva, you can also do Watch the Signs here. This tree is old enough to be considered a ruin.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been hard to see where I can use any of these because that thing's really designated as a ruin.
Yes.
Hey, this is the place. May as well try it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. That's cunning, which is +2. 2. Wah, wah.
Ow! Wow.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
read some situation.
Bad luck. That's still a 7. That's technically passing.
Well, if it's a 7, I get hold too.
Not you, unfortunately.
Oh, him.
Spud got a 7.
His roll.
Yeah, yours was a 5, unfortunately. So,
Vermi, Digo, you want to try? Since we've now had 3 rolls?
Since we...
I mean, you could potentially find a better way than Mint.
Oh, okay, we're trying to find the way in. Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking that you were saying to try to, help on the roll.
No. In this case, read a 10 situation or wreck something or however you'd like to try and do it.
I could certainly wreck something, but that's...
Go for it, then.
You sure? 'Cause that's going to make a lot of noise.
Okay, let's wait for Vermi's roll, then.
Yeah, I was going to say. Mine should be the last plan here.
I guess I'll try another read a tense situation.
Wow, 6, 5, 6, and 7.
All right, Brixie, punch it.
Well, a 7 is still a success. So
Yeah.
technically speaking, you can ask what is the best way in, out, through. If you wanted to do that as the how to find it.
What's the best way in?
The best way in, from what you can tell, is that there is a tangle of roots to the northeastern part of the tree. So it's basically on the opposite side. Like after circling around it, it's the opposite side of where you first entered the watch tree. And the roots are tangled in such a way that they provide cover, but there is also some loosened soil in the tangle of it. However, getting through it without cutting anything is going to be extremely difficult. You are going to need to wreck something.
Brixie,
Well,
you can wreck something quieter than I can wreck something.
We kind of needed to break in anyway, so I think this is where we start going a bit louder.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna need to chop through a bit.
All right. I'll give it my best shot.
It's an 8. All right. You are imprecise and dangerous. You cause collateral damage, attract attention, or end up in a bad spot. My choice.
Mm-hmm.
You are successful. Fortunately, despite the loudness, no seeming reaction from the guards inside. Those of you who are near Brixie are obviously a little too. You are just basically hearing that. Sorry, it got really loud there for some reason. The situation that the end result is you end up in a bad spot. You successfully punch through, and the ground shifts underneath the 5 of you, and you all go sliding in.
Well, hey, that was easy.
And we're all stuck
Boss
beneath
plants
the
his feet
tree.
to surf in.
So the way out, the underneath of the tree is. It is not quite the same as the molish ruins you found earlier, but it is a very clearly molish building set up underneath this tree. Additionally, it seems that this area was not just molish. You do in fact find some, like, not etchings exactly, but there are carvings into parts of the house that appear to depict the moles conversing with a very large bird. And on top of that, you can see in the distance of this, like, it's the one side of the building has this sort of familiar carving into it. It resembles the paintings that you found earlier in the molish ruins. It depicts the Ironclaw, but it seems to be the Ironclaw from quite some time ago. And you can see there is this enormous bird. There are the mole people. You see foxes and mice and rabbits. And you see in the distance a mountain that looks to be in a very familiar shape. It looks like the mountain of Spine Rock, the one that's vaguely in the shape of a giant beast or dragon. However, it appears to be awake.
What?
Yes, the beast in the image is not like it is clearly the size and sort of character of a mountain, but it has opened eyes and an open jaw.
Siva has her book out and she is drawing.
This building appears to be it goes straight from floor to the floor of the cavern underneath to the floor of the watch tree itself, but the remaining area is hollow. This is a very sturdily built building, and it does seem to be providing some amount of support. And the inside of this building has some very old books in it, and some more paintings that appear to have been ripped up and thrown to the ground in a fit of this is not good enough. And you don't see any sort of exit. So whoever lived here has either completely decomposed or they got out in some unforeseen manner.
This is haunting.
And above you, you hear the sound of swords being drawn and clanging against armor and the screams of men.
What?
Huh. Neat.
The screams of men?
Claudius
The screams of birds.
Okay.
Run faster.
Claudius is doing a purge. Oh god. He's
Coup
taking
d'etat,
over
coup d'etat.
he's taking over the watchtower so he can control the entire area by the watchtower and shut everyone else out.
Vost is setting the bombs.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we should then really take out the tree now.
We kind of have to do this now.
And as Vost is doing it, he looks to everyone else, just save what you can of the artifacts, because they ain't going to be here in an hour. We ain't going to be here in an hour.
Do you need help setting up the bombs? I can make some space for you.
I need help looting because I can't loot while I'm setting these bombs. You can loot. Please loot.
The writings in the room appear to match the characters you saw on that statue.
Huh. Which statue?
The little cat statue you picked up from the ruins.
Oh, that? Okay, I need to make a note of that. There's some serious archaeology going down here that's been completely covered up by the Eerie.
Mm-hmm.
And the archaeology is about to be destroyed, so save what you can.
That.
Please.
Yeah, we kind of have to
Okay.
do some archaeological preservation before we do this demolition.
From the outside, from the hole that you just came out of, you hear the sound of rain beginning to fall. And a crash of thunder.
Storm's almost on. The time's almost right. God, I can't. So Carl and Claudius are. Of course, he would hire a big old canine mercenary to. Can't believe I didn't. Sorry, Mint is muttering to himself about the whole scheme that's taking place over his head.
And it's not the only scheme that Carl's doing.
Yeah.
This is just the immediate scheme.
Yeah, it's just.
There's a reason that guard went to Carl for the smoke signal thing.
Yep.
Want all my snacks in poker.
Or heck, Carl's just taking the whole dang thing. Screw Claudius.
Bad dog.
I gave him a muffin too.
No, the other guard got the muffin. You gave him a cookie.
I gave him a cookie. Still.
All right. So yeah, we take and preserve whatever we can.
Yep.
While Vost set us up the bomb.
Admirable try.
I think stumbling over it is kind of canonical to that meme anyway. So
that's fair.
You're telling me that the Eerie will be like, first they were like, we get signal, and then suddenly somebody set them up the bomb.
Yeah, they got the signal to start the purge, and then someone set them the bomb.
And all their bases belong to Claudius. For what little time the base had left.
Fair enough. It belongs to cats. That's the name of the guy.
Oh, how appropriate!
And these bombs are a Marquisite design, yes.
Okay.
Ha ha ha.
The base will be owned by cats. Derivative.
But it's dogs and birds. Anyway.
Dogs and cats living together, it'll be chaos.
All right, let's blow this popsicle stand. Let's go.
Literally and
appropriate choice of words. The rain is coming down in full force, and it is starting to flood the cavern you're in.
Oh. All right, everyone, we need to get out of here. Are the bombs set? We gotta go.
I need you, since this is these are your bombs, Vost. I need you to roll
Arsonist?
Arsonist.
I mean, this is flagrantly dangerous means, explosives and uncontrolled flame.
Yes.
10!
Ooh, yes.
This is going to work very well.
Oh,
The 5 of you need to get out of here now.
Okay,
If I have to throw people up out of the hole, I can do that. I mean, the birds can probably fly, but
I think I just have to trust fate here. I don't have like a roguish feat, like acrobatics or anything that can help me get out.
I have acrobatics.
Yes, those with acrobatics can use it. Those who can fly might be able to get out, but that still leaves Yuki and Mint.
Yeah.
That's why I said I could just throw them up out.
I just have the small image of Siva trying to carry anyone, and it's not working.
It's just the shoot. It's just a Woodstock trying to lift Snoopy.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is, which makes it great.
I would have to trust fate. I think that's what I'm going to have to do, and that's not good.
Yeah,
you might.
Same here.
So you might, among other things, you might have a better chance of getting out if you try to wreck more stuff to open up the exit. That is a possibility.
Hey.
You can trust fate.
Chop some more narrow routes out of the way. Yeah.
Can do.
Okay, I will try to wreck something.
We bashed our way in. We're gonna bash our way out.
We can slice.
Nice. Solid work, Digo. That's a 10. The side of this wall is seriously broken. The water is coming in a little bit faster now because of that, but there's a little more clear of an exit. Did you want to contribute some more, Vermi?
Sure, I'll try to cut through whatever's left. So let's see. 2d6 plus 2.
Yes.
Solid. 10, 10, 10.
Just imagine like both Brixie and Yuki doing the whole like anime slash
combo
through.
move. Yeah.
Double slash.
Yeah, I do the
Cross slash.
I do the whole like slash slash slash, and then it like breaks into pieces. Another useless
and then you sheath your sword, and it all falls apart.
Exactly. Another useless object, as Vermi said.
And just for instance, the bombs start going off in the background. It is time to leave now.
Yes.
We're still kind of technically under the thing. Maybe wait until we're out a little further. Longer fuses, please.
I think the bombs can wait just a little bit. So yes, between those three things, you have made yourself an escape path that is excellent for the lot of you. At the cost of slightly opening up the ground under the tree, which could have some problems in a second.
Dump our disguise armor and go, I guess.
So yes.
Yeah.
What is your escape plan?
Get back up to solid ground and run.
Okay.
And at some point in there, ditch the armor.
You're back up on solid ground. So is your plan to head for Mosswort, or are you going to try and exit through another clearing?
Oh, that's a good question.
The closest clearing to you is Windbrisk currently, but I don't know that you would want to leave from there.
Shelldock would be like the opposite side, wouldn't it?
Shelldock would be a good ways to the east. It's actually not the furthest away. The closest is Windbrisk, which would make the second closest to both Mosswort and Shelldock. The furthest away would be Spine Rock and Howltooth.
I'm of two minds. either we go to Shelldock and tell our friends we have no idea what happened there, but there was some kind of purge going on, and then the tree fell over.
Bad storm.
Or we go to Mosswort and just be like, well, our visit's over, time to leave.
Tell you what, I'll go to Shelldock. You guys go at least for Mosswort.
No, there's no reason to split up yet.
And I continue to live in Ironroot, as I wanted to.
Ironclaw, you mean?
Ironclaw, yeah.
If you want to
It
stay,
definitely ain't Iron Root now, I can tell you that much. Not after what y'all are about to do.
Let's just focus on the step of get away from Blast Zone and weather this out. I think probably Shelldock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The rain is pouring down. Thunder is crashing. You see lightning strikes hitting the lake every couple of minutes. The waves are roiling by the time you get to Shelldock. And about the same time as you arrive, a great bolt of lightning strikes the top of the tree, and you see parts of it splinter as the bombs go off underneath, and the entire tree collapses in a great pillar of flame.
Vost looks at that, just stands there, unmasked proud of his work, and nods.
Mint is equal parts, like, impressed with himself and terrified at the sight of that. Because, like, that's a giant tree coming all the way down. You feel that in the ground. That is a profound destruction that is happening before our eyes.
It is like an earthquake, and you see the people of Shelldock who had gone into their homes to sort of weather out the storm, coming out just to see what the actual hell has just happened. And those that can see the tree, those that could see the watch tree, are aghast at this enormous pillar of flame that is slowly but surely being pelted out by the storm that is covering the area. And those that can't see the watch tree are confused because they cannot see the watch tree anymore. You see coming out from the sort of town hall, Achelia and Scius, both looking extremely pale at this loss, and very briefly they look like they're going to pull weapons on each other before they realize, no, there's no way this could have happened.
Yeah. Just
Vost walks over to them.
No, Vost, I'm tugging on your wing. No, just
No, I'm not going to talk about us. I'm just going to talk about Claudius.
Don't.
Oh,
Okay. Yes.
no.
Yeah, I
No.
promise.
No. Wrong moment. Wrong moment. We do this tomorrow, if at all. Just this moment, not a good time. This is a tragedy happening to everyone.
All right,
Nope,
I can wait.
not everyone is going to be as calm as you are, Vost. And if you come to them and calmly relay information, no.
Reading mood.
Can I at least talk to Isolos if he's here?
Isolos appears to have gone back to Haltooth, unfortunately.
Oh well.
While you were doing all this.
I'm sure he's pleased.
I can tell you, he is giddy.
Mint kind of looks around left, right, over his shoulders, and just like, well, Ironclaw's never going to be the same.
That is for certain.
I believe that was the point.
Yeah, I just, sometimes I still think I'm just a kid smooth talking, the mean old grown-ups, and then I go and do something like this. Help something like this happen. And it all becomes real for me again. But there it goes.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll live with that.
I don't think you have much of a choice otherwise.
Nope. Not really. Well, let's find somewhere to weather out the storm.
Yes, towels and snacks. Mine are all gone.
It's been a long day.
You're gone too.
Okay.
All right. The storm passes. You find shelter. You find shelter with the rest of the refugees who obviously could not leave with the storm happening as it was. You were all given accommodations. At one point, Skyus appears to stop by and looks like he wants to try and talk to you, but then seems to think better of it and leaves. He is looking at the he looks at the five of you with some amount of suspicion, as if he believes you might be the people who just did that. And he doesn't know if he wants to confront you and find out for sure. Because at the end of the day, he's just a bureaucrat, and he did not really know what to do with the watch tree either.
And I have a really big hammer.
And you have a really big hammer. The next day dawns. It is day 5. Your passes are officially up today. Not that I think that's going to matter too much longer.
No.
The storm has completely passed through. It is a bright, sunny day. And from the south of Shelldock, you see Senator Publia arriving with an entourage of guards.
Uh-oh.
And from the north, you see 3 figures. One Claudius Caudex, looking severely burned. One Faustina, who is missing the arm that held the tower shield.
Ugh.
And one Finch, who is by himself, pulling 4 cannons into town.
They're gonna finish the war they started here?
Publia is the first to arrive. The guards do not seem to have much trouble dealing with Claudius, who is raving and ranting about his rightful place, that he is to be quaestor, that he served the Eyrie with no complaint, with no problem. He was a servant to the people to the end.
Yeah, servant to the people who was gonna take over the whole damn watchtower by lethal force. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In his opinion, the people who were not with him were against him.
Yep.
And those who were against him were against the Eyrie. The Finch who's pulling the cannons does not seem to be very happy to be there at all, and he, when ordered to fire the cannons, steps back and cuts their lines so they can't be used. Claudius, in his final moments, is abandoned by everyone but the one soldier he trusted. And as a result, it does not take long for Achillea's guards and Skyus's guards to deal with them. Publia, however, is coming with her own fully intact entourage and holding the letter that you all helped deliver.
All right. I have to come out and see this.
Mm.
Windows exist. Windows exist.
Yeah, windows do exist.
I think I got to be on the ground and see this.
Pretty curious too.
Publia sees Scias and Achillea together, and you see her sigh. It seems like a great weight has been placed upon her. She does not look like she slept in the last 2 days. She approaches the center of town with her entourage. Achillea and Scias step out with theirs. And she says, "So you two seek to rule together?" They nod. "Very well. I will abdicate my position. But you should know that the Eerie will be coming. I hope you're better at negotiating with them than I was." And she submits herself for arrest.
All right.
And with that, the guards are busy dealing with the aftermath of the escape, of the destruction of the watch tree, of the damage caused by the storm. And the 5 of you are free to leave.
Well, Vost, I take it you're staying?
That was my plan.
All right. Well, it's been an experience working with you.
It has been educational. I shall try to remember your lessons. Thank you, Mint. And the rest of you, thank you.
Honestly, Vost, I don't know what you learned from me, but you're your own crow.
Mainly, that sometimes there are better means than destruction.
That's something.
He says, with having just destroyed the watchtower.
I wasn't going to say it.
Sometimes.
I wasn't going to say it.
Well,
Brixie just gives Vost big hug.
Vost attempts to return, but is very much bear hugged by that.
Yes.
Well, Siva, Yuki, Brixie, I guess we're gonna take our ill-gotten gains and go.
Yuki will nod, producing again the thing that was given to her by Sakura to check on it.
Mm-hmm. The paper doll appears to be intact. It does not appear to have had any damage done to it yet.
Then I'm free to join you on any further travels, at least until the next clearings.
Well, sounds like you've got someone else to look for, but we can at least share the road out of here. Thank you. You and Brixie, without you, I don't think I would have gotten out from under that tree last night, so.
She'll nod.
We'd get you out of that hole one way or another.
Actually, before we go, I want to see if I can track down Karl Hundmeister.
For that.
All right. You can. He's in Mosswort. He is no longer in the eerie armor that he was wearing. He looks, for all intents and purposes, like another tourist who has finished their stay in the Ironclaw.
Sup, Herr Hundmeister?
Mint, so good to see you again. I assume... Well, what's there to assume? You did good. Not quite what I wanted, but very good.
Yeah, I don't mind that this works out for you. I'm just curious how your scheme turned out.
Well, unfortunately, I will not have good news to return with my benefactor, but I suppose this is enough of an improvement for what she was intending.
Makes sense. So you have a patron. That's interesting. I'm more of a freelance kind
Well,
of guy.
it does cost quite a bit of money to maintain my habits and travels, so why not get work to do the thing you love to do? Or why not get paid to do what you love to do, yes?
Indeed. So, on to the next job for both of us, then.
Yes, indeed, that is the case. Now, let me just check something real fast. And he pulls out some papers from his bag that you can see have Marquisat handwriting on them.
Yep.
And he rolls them back up, looks at you, and goes, fortunately for you, you are not on my list of things to do next. And he pats you on the head.
Love this dog.
Check out my
I really
future
do.
schemes at patreon.com/goodboy.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, I have to ask. Considering where Vost got the bombs from, was Vost on that list?
Can I check to, like, surreptitiously over his orders?
Yes, you can roll if you'd like to. Let's say you can either read a tense situation or figure someone out in this case, or trust luck.
I'll trust fate. Just be like, if he manages to.
Also, thank you for request. Wow, this blew up. Check out my SoundCloud, Vost.
All right, just straight luck. 9.
Ooh, a 9. All right. On a hit, you scrape by or barrel through. Let me just check something real fast. What you can see is that his current patron is one Gendarme Henri Berman, who is apparently fairly high up in the Marquisat military. Like, once served as guard for the Marquisat herself.
Yeah.
Kind of high up. And you can see that he's lying. You and Vost are on his list. But you are further down, so it seems he's fine taking care of some other tasks first. It doesn't seem like he's too worried about finding you.
Mint.
Yeah.
More importantly, Mint, you also see a mark that you are now familiar with because it's the symbol you saw on the kimono that Yuki picked up.
Oh.
You just barely make out next to it the words move, secret location, and protection.
Huh.
And that is higher up on the list than the two of you.
Okay.
Huh.
So I managed to get a glimpse of all that, and then I play along with his head patting and be like, I owe you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I rest my elbows on the table and my chin on my hands and have a think. When I come back to the group, I say, I think Karl Hundmeister is going to be involved in our future endeavors. And apparently he knows something about... He might know something about your master, Yuki.
She'll, I guess, immediately stand up and go, where did you meet him?
He's probably already gone from Mosswort by now, but I know who he's working for. I think the Marquisat has your master, and knows that me and Vost are a threat. Probably all of us by now.
If not, definitely by the time he makes his report.
Yeah.
Well, you're free to come with me, I guess. Although it sounds like it would be quite dangerous for you. But
Well, here's the thing. My name's also on that list, so I think this confrontation was coming one way or another. And it sounds like our interests are aligned.
well,
And to be
then I
honest,
guess.
to be honest, I'm kind of excited.
She'll smile and nod and go, likewise, as she like picks up her sword and heads to the door of wherever they met up at and goes, well, I'm heading to Marcusat territory. You're free to come with.
Brixie and Siva, how do you feel about all that?
Sure. I don't.
I'm trying to make sure I'm actually being heard.
I can hear you now. If you've said anything before this, unfortunately, no.
I did before and a while ago, and I'm like, oh, I guess I can't be heard. I've been fighting with it ever since.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's not you. It's
It's
I don't-
computers. It's
Oh,
computers.
it's literally
Stop
technology.
all the download.
Anyway, because I was trying to say this earlier. Siva is actually going to stay in Ironclaw for a little bit. Entirely because with the watchtower going down and all these people concerned because it's no longer there, and what does it mean? There are people who are upset. There are people who don't know what to do and need a purpose in life or a way or a silver lining. So,
Endless dream.
hey,
I mean,
I'm not saying that we're being religiously manipulative, but we're being religiously manipulative.
You're
fair.
also you're not doing it because of like you don't get money out of this. So I think it's
No,
fine.
it's fine.
It's not a
I'm-
grift. It's not a grift. It's genuine belief, which is
Yeah.
fine, although can sometimes be misguided. In this case, I don't think it will be.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that assessment of the situation is the thing.
Especially with Siva.
So yeah, see,
And-
it's been good traveling with you, I guess.
Yeah.
Dreams and worms blessings on you all, and hopefully we will meet again.
And
Whatever
big
you
wolf
say,
hugs
kid.
for you. Brixie hugs her.
Hey.
But yeah, Brixie, we could definitely use some help on this next stage of the job, and
A squirrel, a fox, and a wolf. 3 amigos traveling together.
And a crow.
No, he was
Vost is
staying.
staying.
Oh, Vost is staying? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought things changed after that discovery. Anyway.
No.
The-
Vost wasn't even there
And the
for the
terrestrials
discovery.
are leaving.
Right.
I
Okay.
definitely catch up with Vost and say, so you should know you're on a high-level markets out list, as am I.
And is this a mark for death, or do you know what they want to do with us?
Did not specify.
Did
It
not
just had your
specify.
names.
But if we're on an agent like Karl Hundmeister's list, the Marquis out wants to control or own you somehow. That's really, whether that means by killing you or recruiting you or forcing you to do something, whatever the mission is, we are on that list. Not soon, but we are on the list.
I think I know what they want with me.
Yeah.
And I could defuse it if I stay here. Unfortunately, that only diffuses me, not you.
Well, I'm just warning you so you can look out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Noted. I take it you go now to deal with this.
Yeah, I think it's time I, check on some old contacts.
Do you know who ultimately controls this list?
I did see the name. I don't recall it off the top of my head. DM, if you could repeat that.
It's Jean d'Arme Anne-Marie Berman. Sorry, I'll put it in the chat. That's not the right chat. This chat. Gendarme being the rank, by the way.
I will do some research. I think I may be able to find out where this person is. And if so, then about the time you get there, you may find some reinforcements, some help. I can't say with what form yet.
Fair enough. But, yeah, there's some people in the Marquisate who know me and don't particularly like me. So...
Same.
So I'm gonna have to. It looks like I'm not gonna be able to run from that any longer.
Should you need some shelter from that, feel free to come by here. Otherwise, what help I can send, we'll meet you when you get there.
All right then. Appreciate it, Vost. Best of luck to you.
Where's Siva?
Siva's gonna be staying in Ironclaw, helping religiously with the
She has a
chaos
collar.
here. So
She is. That's going to make life interesting.
no doubt.
You mean we haven't made it interesting already?
I will try to make sure she is taken care of well.
Yeah, if
Not in the assassination. No, not that sense.
I just mean to say there's a chance she might end up on their list as well because she was
Team with you. I know.
on our team. So yeah, try and look out for her
She's
as well.
also not staying forever. She is going to leave.
At some point, yeah.
Well, yeah, while you're both in town, yeah.
It's just to keep an eye on her just in case. We don't know when the Marquisate's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they care more about you and a bomber than an evangelist who believes in sleeping dragons.
Just, still room for concern.
Aw, you care.
I do.
Aww.
If nothing else, Vost will at least make sure she gets good gardening materials.
She
Okay.
can't do what Wart did at all.
Vost is fascinated by that, isn't he?
Consider the source of Vost bomb materials. Plants. Gardens like this are his source of explosives. Yes, he's
fair.
fascinated.
That's fair. All right. I believe Brixie, if at any point you find yourself in Mosswort on the way out, you are confronted by one angry piece of turf.
Uh-oh.
The ground sort of rises beneath you and starts pushing you back towards the wood to stay out of sight of the public. Before finally opening up, and one Signor Il Sforza will confront you about the fact that you disappeared for like 5 days. Did you get me what I asked?
I got you something that might be useful, and I will hand over the painting.
Is this? No, it could not be.
It
An
definitely
original Divertisol?
from the vault.
Oh, amazing! Oh, my family will love it. The accent's fucking up again. Wrong, different accent this time. My family will love this. Oh, thank you, signora. You know, I ought to pay you back for this fine service. Hold for a moment, and he will sort of dig his way out through the tunnels.
Mhm.
And then he will come back with a star-shaped rock and a whistle.
Ooh.
And he will hand the both of them to you and say, if you ever find yourself in need in the deep woods, please feel free to call my family and we will gladly return this favor.
Thank you.
Make sure you keep a hold of that. That is the symbol of my clan, and you do not want to accidentally summon the wrong duchy.
Oh, definitely.
And he will thank you very heartily for all that you have done for the Sforza family. And you hear him as he sort of digs his way back out of the tunnels, just yelling, "Proof! Proof!"
Oh,
He seems a
Ironclaw
nice
is going to be
fella.
real interesting.
All right. Is there anything anyone else wants to do?
No, pocket the stuff and come back to the group and, well, ready for the next
Alright.
adventure. Let's try not
Alright.
to make this one too interesting. I've had a lot of
I could use an easy job after this one,
Yeah.
but
All right.
something between this and the Marquisat, taking on the whole high echelons of the Marquisat.
All right. Yuki, Mint, Brixie, you make your way out of the Ironclaw, pockets a little fuller, chaos sown, and hopefully some kind of order restored long term. Vost and Siva, you make yourselves at home here in the Ironclaw, ready to take on the challenges that are no doubt about to arrive. Siva, that night, as you were preparing to really make your stay, or to make this place your temporary home, you hear a familiar sound coming from the river this time. Do you approach it? You recognize it as prayer, and you know exactly who it's coming from.
Exactly when you started. I know exactly who this is. She's still gonna go.
She's going.
Despite the fact he's misguided, they still believe ultimately in the same thing.
And from the river rises Wart, looking worse for the wear. He's his tail is gone. He's missing half of one of his arms, and it looks like one of his eyes has been crushed. But it also looks like it appears that he's still holding the blade and sheath that mean that he won't die of these wounds. And being a salamander, he seems to be recovering, albeit slowly. And he looks at the Ironclaw, at what you've done, and smiles at you and says, "Good, sister. You've done well. This garden will thrive nicely."
Oh my gosh. I had like 2 ideas of what I wanted to say, and now they're like gone. I'm like, oh.
You feel it, yes. The heartbeat of the dragon now. He sort of leans down and cups a handful of the soil, and it's not anywhere he's been near, but it's clear. Like as he lifts it to your face, you can see it actually is growing just a little bit better than the grass previously was. And he says, "I sensed that you doubted what you could do. But do not fret, my sister. We all have the capabilities. So long as we believe."
And
And he-
I do pray that one day you won't need to hurt in order to show people exactly that we all can work together.
He chuckles and hands the soil and grass to you.
I will leave this kingdom in your capable hands till I return. Good day, Sister Siva. May the dragon smile upon you.
And he will sink back into the river, and Wart will leave. And you can feel in the Ironclaw pulsing within the heartbeat of an enormous beast. And with that, I do believe we have completed the Ironclaw Infiltrators.
We infiltrated the heck out of that. Also, congratulations, your religion is real. You're on top of a hellmouth now.
You're lying? Oh!
Well then.
Sequel hook? What sequel hook?
But aren't all of my like? I don't think I've ever completed a game and not thrown in a sequel hook. If I'm being honest, it's like my biggest flaw, aside from the fact that I overcomplicate the shit out of everything and turn 2-session games into 5-session games.
Right.
I'm glad we saw this one through. This was a lot of fun. Oh man, what a game! I'm really happy with all of that. Thank you, Din.
No, thank y'all. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I can now share my notes with everybody.
Yay!
Yay!
Note some things have probably changed, but still.
No
All
GM
right.
plan survives contact with the players.
Nope, but I never expected to. Anywho, here's the Ironclaw notes in the chat, and I think it's time we sign off for the day.
All right. Thank you for listening to our Spudventures. If you like what you heard, you can find more at youtube.com/Newbiespud or wherever you get your fine podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, etc. We aim to livestream these games every Sunday around 2 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/Newbiespud. If you want to keep up with this and other projects I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Newbiespud. And if you want to support my ability to produce more content like this, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Newbiespud. See you next time with Session 0 of Lancer. Or, wow, cool robot.